You hear that, baby? Woo! It's my entrance music. Yeah, baby. There's no better
Yeah.
way to start this freaking podcast than with that one.
Yo.
I'm not sorry. Welcome to JC's podcast. That was our entrance music. That's becoming one of my favorite songs now. I don't know why. I love those trumpets. It just sounds beautiful. This JC's podcast. You have Jay, you have C, you have Chris. Oh, C's here. Hey, baby, how you doing? How you been? How's everything's good? Everything is well. um, great, crazy football Sunday. A great football day for New York teams. A terrible baseball day for the Mets. But yeah, a great, a great football Sunday for for the New York teams. Um, the Mets. I thought they had the best bullpen leading into the playoffs. I thought nobody wanted to play them. I thought everybody was scared to go against the Scherzer, Degrom, and Carrasco, whatever his name is. And sorry, maybe next year when you lose half your team. But let's get in. We'll talk some football. You know, a lot to get into. The Jets beat the door out of Miami, 40-17. The Giants, surprising win in London, and that's why C wasn't here, guys. C went to London. That's why he was in the last episode. He went to the game. He saw the game, and you know it was exciting for you, right? C, it was fun, right?
Oh my
Let me
god.
tell you, it I didn't go to London, but watching the game though, it was so beautiful because for some reason London fans love Green Bay. Like I hear "Go Pack Go" in Green Bay. Like I was hearing that. I was like, "Yo, I know they in London, but damn, we got some Giants anywhere in there." I don't care though. I was cheering
Yeah.
for my team.
Oh, listen, it was a great win. It just proves how excited you should be about Coach
For
Dable.
sure, for sure.
Um, literally is a mastermind. The guy is just he's amazing. We'll get into the games. We'll get into the Jet game and the Giant game, and we'll even talk a little bit about Chris's team. About we'll go through
No,
his.
we can skip over that one for today. We don't have to.
we'll
We don't
go.
have to do that.
We'll dabble into the game and then we'll talk fantasy. But we have a cool new thing we want to start. We're gonna go into news and notes, and then Chris will come in with a new segment of his. But let's get into the news and notes of fantasy. The latest news. I'm gonna go with the biggest one of all and just put it out there. Rashad Penny out for the whole season.
Sad.
Broken fibula. Um, it sucks. His season's done, and his season as a Seattle Seahawk is probably done. They gave him a prove it 1 year contract so he can stay healthy and prove it to them. He didn't prove it. He was doing good, but he's out now. Kenneth Walker is the next man up, the rookie running back. If he's on your waivers, he is a priority. He might be the biggest waiver wire pickup. Last time I checked, he's rostered in a lot of leagues, like 75%, if I'm not mistaken. So if he's available in the other 25, whatever league you in, definitely pick him up. The next one is Ron Rivera said there's a good opportunity for Antonio Gibson to be used as a returner this week now that Brian Robinson is back. If he is available in your leagues, that is a big pickup.
Mhm.
He should have got picked up already once hearing that he would have been able to return. Um, if you're an Antonio Gibson owner, you know you expected this when you drafted him that Brian Robinson was gonna come back eventually. Um, all you could do now, I guess you hold them, I guess, in case Brian Robinson was to get hurt. Depending on what's available, I'm dropping Antonio Gibson for Kenneth Walker immediately, but depending on what's available, you might have to hold on to him. Panthers quarterback Baker Mayfield suffered a high ankle sprain in Sunday's game. That
Yes.
means he will. Why he said yes like that? That threw me off. That means he will miss time. But how much time will be determined. PJ Walker is in line to start as QB this week against the Rams. Not a great matchup for this QB coming in. Um, they're dying for Sam Darnold to come back. I never think
Yeah, I
he'll
was
miss a
gonna
game
say,
anymore.
when is he coming back?
Um,
The
he's off.
timetable.
He's off the IR, but the IR
Okay.
didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
He still needs about 3 more weeks. I heard 2 to 3 more weeks.
Okay.
But they're dying for Sam Darnold back. With the Panthers news, head coach Matt Rule fired. 1-4. He hasn't been a good coach in that. It was a terrible run. They still owe him $40 million, by the way.
That's insane.
It's insane. But yeah, Panthers wise, I think the only person we've been saying is even with Baker, you're only starting McCaffrey right now. DJ
hmm
Moore needs to ride your bench. Oh, speaking of DJ Moore, I'm saying it right now. I didn't read nothing. I didn't read nothing. I'm coming out of this straight off the top of the dome right here, right now. DJ Moore will get traded to the Giants or Green Bay in a couple weeks. I truly believe the Panthers are going to throw. I think the Panthers are done. They're 1-4. They need a quarterback. I think they're going to start trading away assets. DJ Moore will be a Giant or will be a Green Bay Packer.
I
I
would love
want
to
to
see him
mark
on
it.
Green Bay.
I actually would like to see him on the Giants. For some reason, they need wide receiver depth. And if I think Dable could work with him because he doesn't look good right now. It's probably because of the team itself, but
Hey, have
Yeah,
you
and that
seen what the
this game's
Giants
crazy.
shred Green Bay's secondary with Walmart wide receivers? I had like imagine we actually had a guy there. I think
no,
Slayton
listen,
was the most experienced receiver we had on that roster, and I'm talking about Slayton.
no.
Like what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
well, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it, but I just want to say that because it was in my mind today. I was like, I can't forget it. I want to say before I read anything, if I see a rumor that comes up, I'm gonna say I said it first. Juju Smith, expected to play tonight on Monday's matchup between the Chiefs and the Raiders. Um, Tyreek Hill left the Jet game in a walking boot because he couldn't catch any deep bombs on Sauce Gardner, and that's Teddy Bridgewater left the game ruled out concussion. He might not even be ready for next week, so they might have to be the third string to go in for the Miami Dolphins. And that's pretty much all the injuries that I got right here. So that's all the injuries. Uh, One thing I will add to the Miami team, I think as a Waddle owner, I'm not sure if I'm starting him if that third quarterback is coming in. Um, they didn't really they had no deep opportunity against the Jets. Jets are doing good at that at the deep ball right now. But yeah, I don't like this third string undrafted quarterback. I think they're gonna dump off to Tyreek Hill a lot. And I don't know if Waddle doesn't get involved, so I don't like Waddle unless Hill is out. I don't think I like Waddle this week. But yeah. Let's get into this new segment. I'm gonna let Chris take over. He wants to bring in something new, hot, and ready. He's gonna explain to you. See, he just told me he want to do this, so we're gonna get into it. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. So it's a new segment. I I just thought we need to, bring something more fresh, to the podcast, something different, something every week we could get more involved, besides the news and notes, the usual going over the games. So Chris, what it's called is buying in or out. So basically these are my opinions or my statements, just everything we've seen throughout the first few weeks of the season. And I'm gonna give a statement or my own opinion. Um, and then you guys just tell me, are you buying in with what I'm saying, or are you buying out? And if you're buying out, explain why you think otherwise than me.
All right.
All right. So the first one is we're gonna start off a little easy. Cooper Cup will finish as wide receiver one again at the end of this season. Are you buying in or out?
Yeah. See.
We'll finish it. Yeah, from what I've seen, I'm in. I'm in. Like
Yeah.
this
I'm
just
in.
it just I cannot see him the way that the Rams offense is, and you would think it would change because they've been doing it and now they've been losing doing it. You would think it'd change, but no, the same week, the first 2 or 3 balls that comes out of Stafford hand goes to Cooper. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what, at this point,
I
it's
would
just
I would say yes for in a PPR standpoint. PPR, I think if you're talking standard, I think Jefferson probably will finish as he gets a lot of touchdowns. But PPR, this guy just gets a million receptions, and then you add touchdowns and yards. Yeah, he's getting 20 points plus a game in PPR. So yeah, I'm in. I'm
Yeah,
rolling.
definitely. This definitely was an easy one. Like you guys said, like you said, Chris, you would think that with the Rams struggles and with Stafford's injury and just how bad they look that Coop's production will go down, but it's like he's the only receiver that Stafford sees. It's like his eyes are just only on him, and as long as he gets the touches and gets, I think there's no question he's gonna end as wide receiver one. Second one. After this season, Kyle Pitts will drop from tight end 3 to tight end 10.
I'm buying in. I don't like it. At this point, you're gonna have to just see what happens with the rookie quarterback if they ever put him in. I don't like how they're not using him. I'm buying in.
Yeah, here are my chips, man. I'm all in. Listen, I was a little lower than you guys on Kyle Pitts before the
Oh,
season,
Yeah.
and it's like before the season I was really low on him. And now the season is begun. It's happening, and it's like, what the heck is going on? That's not his. Yeah, he's. I would even say past that, honestly. If he's gonna continue to go 8, 7, 6, 5 points,
I don't even think he
that's
does that. He did 13 and then 4, 3, and 4, I believe.
13 was the best game of his season. Just know that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And I think at the end of the season, I think he's gonna drop that low because people are just, you know, they're gonna be scared. They're not gonna wanna reach for someone, especially because you don't know what the quarterback situation is gonna be looking like in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like you don't know if Riddle's gonna start. You know if they're gonna stick with Mariota because they're not doing terrible this season. I mean, they're
Hmm.
2-3, so you never know what the QB situation is looking like, and if they're gonna keep running this scheme. And like the coach said, you know, they're not worried about fantasy. They're worried about winning games. If they're not
No,
gonna
yeah,
give
I
it a
hear
Kyle
you.
Pitts, so um, Dalvin Cook is not a top 5 fantasy running back anymore.
You go first.
I'm out on that. I don't agree with that statement. I think he had a slow start. Most definitely, but it's gonna pick up for him. I think it already did this past week. I think he did pretty
Finish as
well.
a RB 5
Yeah,
this week.
his touchdowns are gonna come. His big games are gonna come. He's gonna get his points. I just believe that he just had a slow start, but yeah, it's a great team. The Vikings, as long as they don't play on prime time, Kirk Cousins will do fine.
Yeah, I'm buying out as well. I was high on Cook coming into the season, and I'm still having faith. He got hurt, then he bang in, bang out. Now he came in fully healthy, destroyed Chicago. Um, I'll buy out. I think he'd be top 5.
Okay. The only reason I chose that one is because in the beginning of the season, I didn't even have him in my top 5. I think I had him like 6 or 7, I believe.
No, yeah,
Um.
even though
So yeah,
it's like your opinions, you're not
yeah,
the only one with it. So there's a lot of people
yeah,
thinking that. So it's definitely a smart, good question. I just we just both bought out.
definitely. Okay. Jalen Hurts will be drafted ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Lamar Jackson after this season.
I'm buying out. I love Jalen Hurts. I don't know if I don't know what he can do to get drafted as high. Lamar had two 40-point bombs already. Mahomes, I think he had like multiple 30 plus bombs. Herbert, yeah, he's not doing. He don't have Keenan Allen, so it's hard for me to judge him. And if you talk about this last game, which I will get into, also Eckler just ran all over the field on these guys, so he didn't have to throw. But yeah, I'll buy out. I think Justin Hurts is right. I think Justin Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is right after those guys, but I'll buy out.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. It's like
He's like
I
right
love
there. It's right
I love
there.
Hurts though, because in fantasy, like, he's that QB that it's like in every
I
week, like
freaking love
you
him.
you don't gotta worry about it. You know he's gonna put his points up, but there are QBs above him that are you a little bit more reassuring. Some
Yeah,
a
like
lot more
he's
reassuring.
very like trustworthy. He's gonna give you his
Yeah,
points, but he's not gonna give you that Lamar 44 or that Mahomes 40, and then that Herbert. Or Herbert's gonna have 40-point games eventually when he gets his whole team back. He's gonna throw 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. Hurts that hasn't done that really,
hmm
and
I think he leads in 6 rushing touchdowns.
he leads in attempts, rushing attempts, and
hmm
just to add to that, he might break Lamar's record of the attempts in one season, which is 176 attempts. He's
It's
on
insane.
track already to pass that. That's how much he's running.
Yeah, I think I'm just biased because I have Justin Herbert in one of my leagues, so I think I'm just biased, and I just love what he's done so far, and I think it's just gonna get better. He finally has the weapons AJ Brown is finally healthy. Devontae Adams is finally stepping up
Yeah.
to what we expect him to be.
Devontae Smith.
I'm sorry, Devontae Smith. Let's
I was like, he got AJ Brown and
I
Devontae
know.
Adams on the
Whoa,
Eagles.
imagine.
Wait a
Oh man,
minute.
Devontae
GG.
Smith. The running
Can I
game looks very good,
can
so
I just
I believe
add?
in him.
Can I just
Mhm.
add something? Who would have thought that AJ Brown joining the Eagles would have benefited Dallas Goddard so much?
Oh
That
my
guy
God,
is
Dallas Goddard is
such
amazing.
he's like so solid for a tight end. I never thought how solid he was. He gives 10 plus points every week, and he's only a tight end 9. But he gives you 10 points. He gives you 10 plus points every week. I love it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I
No,
just
no,
love
you
him.
get, you get.
Love that guy. I love that guy.
All right. Garrett Wilson will be ranked among top 10 in wide receivers next season.
You go first.
Next season?
Yes,
So
after the
by
season
the end
said
of the
and done,
season, yeah.
Garrett Wilson will be ranked in the top 10 next season.
Yeah, I'm in on that. I'm in on that. I see the talent. He's very football smart. Like if you see him watching routes, if you see him running routes, and if you see him like the way he talks about certain plays and how he saw certain coverage and the way he just plays the game, I think that the Jets are only getting better. And with that being said, um getting better, Garrett Wilson benefiting from a team that is getting better, he's gonna continue to get his looks, and he's a guy who can be, more is there, but I think he's the guy that can be that number one, like, okay, yeah, more is there, but I think we really got to focus on Garrett Wilson type of guy. I think
Yeah.
that's the type of talent he is. So I would not be surprised, and I would be in on him being a top 10 finish next season.
I like your ending. If this is the top 15, I would probably say I'm all in, but I'm gonna buy out.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, if I'm trying to name 10 guys in my head, tell me where you think it stops. So if we do Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, um, DeAndre Hopkins gonna be back with no suspensions probably. Who am I missing?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, I guess. I'm missing somebody else. Who am I missing? Who's another? I'm trying to think. That's like 9 right now.
I will put AJ Brown 9.
AJ Brown,
And
and
then I will
then
put Garrett Wilson 10 to be honest.
I will
Because
have to.
because
I
because
will
if
have
I'm
to keep
if
looking.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at my head of all of the rankings we did in the beginning of the season, there's about 3 guys
Oh,
that I
I'm
wouldn't
I'm I'm
push out to
sorry.
put Wilson.
Um, uh, Amon Say Brown, I think is top 10. I think he finished. CeeDee Lamb, I think is still in that conversation. Debo Samuel, I'm not forgetting about Debo. It's like so many names that is like, I want to push him out.
Yeah.
Me as a Jet fan, I'll take it all
Hmm.
day, every day. It's just Garrett Wilson hasn't got his opportunity to be consistent yet. That's what's holding me back. But
Okay.
I'll buy out, hoping that it's
Yeah, but I
true.
mean, there's some people you never know can go on a regression. Like, it's a big name, but the under
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams,
I
he
was gonna
hasn't
say
been
that
looking
too. Yeah.
hot. In Oakland. I mean, not Oakland. They were Oakland.
Las
The
Vegas.
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
He's not looking
Las
hot there, and
Vegas.
and he's just, I don't know. After week one, it's been quiet for him. He had a good last week. He had a good week last week, but it
Yeah.
was
And I mean, we
Devontae
said that. We
Adams should have
said
been
that.
better.
Yeah.
We said that Devontae Adams is undoubtedly probably the best receiver in the league, but fantasy wise, we just said it. Going to Las Vegas, it was gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, so 2 more. Geno Smith will end the year as QB3.
I'm buying out. Listen. He's a hot hand right now. I actually picked him up. I thought Jalen Hurts is on bye week this week, so I went to stash him, and I was clearly wrong. But he has a juicy matchup against Arizona Cardinals, terrible defense. So
Hmm.
he's probably gonna finish top 2 again this week. So you could probably start him, but nah. I listen. Gino's good. He's proving not only him but Pete Carroll was proving that he was a big factor into Wilson's success. And I think we doubted how good DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett really are.
Oh
They
yeah,
just know how to make plays, and it looks like Gino threw some very beautiful long balls. But it looks like either way they're gonna make a play for him. So I'll say no, but he's good right now. But I'll
yeah.
buy out.
But look at his schedule though. Like he has a lot of games where if he
Yeah,
does what he's been doing, he has Arizona twice because we're in
That
the same
it's a.
division. He has let's see,
he does have a light schedule.
yeah, Carolina one
I
week.
think even with a light schedule, you're still gonna think he's gonna finish QB3. So that means Josh
And
Allen.
he doesn't have to do. The thing is, he hasn't even been doing much. It's just the little he's been doing is good enough to keep his QBR up there and everything. And it's like even I mean they've been losing games obviously, but that's the defense fault. But he's been solid, and like
Yeah,
you said, he's been running
eh,
the scheme that Pete Carroll has been running with Russell Wilson all these years, and I feel like it's possible. He could
yeah,
just
it's
you know
possible, but I'm sorry, I'm still thinking Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, Herbert, Hurts, and then maybe Gino. I can't see it. If it was to happen, that would be a great.
that is insane.
That would be a great year for Gino if he actually finishes
Hmm.
like that. But I don't think so. Chris, I see. What about you? You got?
Yeah, I'm big on Gino, but I'm not in. I mean, I'm out. Top. I think top three is too high. I think top three is too high.
Maybe top
He,
10. I think top
yeah,
10 he'll
top
finish.
10. I think he can finish the top 10 with the way he's been playing. I think he can finish top 10. Top
And with
three is
that
way
schedule,
too
like you
high.
said,
Like
yeah,
you,
Yeah.
I
you would
agree.
have to beat Lamar, Patty, and Josh Allen, and even Herbert could creep
All
up
right,
in
next
there.
one, next one. I know what the next one is. Come on, come on, come on. I'm buying in. I'm buying in. I'm buying in. Come on.
Next season, Brees Hall will be drafted in the first round.
I'm buying in. I'm buying in. Brees Hall, baby. Let's go. I'm buying it. I'm buying it all the way. I'm buying it all the way. Brees freaking Hall breakout. I can't wait to talk. I really can't wait to talk more in depth about this game right after this segment. Brees freaking Hall broke out. He should have had like 45 points, but I'm gonna get more into that. I'm buying in. I'm buying in. I don't care.
We know how Jacob feels.
I'm buying in.
I would not mind buying in as well. The Brees Hall looked good, and I've been talking about him from the beginning. I talked a lot about a lot of Jets players. I drafted a lot of Jets players. I had them on my team.
Sheesh.
Jets, I said, have been looking good. They have a lot of good, great weapons. Not even good. It's great weapons. Elijah Moore showed how great he was last year. Garrett Wilson's starting to prove it. Brees Hall last game just showed what he can do. And even Michael Carter is there still, and Brees Hall is gonna probably overshadow him with his talent. But having a backup like Michael Carter, like God forbid, you don't have Brees Hall for a game, that's not even a big loss because Michael Carter
No.
is doing his thing too. So I think Hall is gonna benefit from having a great Jets O line as well because the Jets O line is great, and they're probably missing a few pieces because of injury. But once they keep coming, once the line starts to gel back together, people come back from injury, it's just gonna keep getting better for him. If he can continue to do what he did, yeah. What was it? Yesterday? Oh God, it's
You
it's
can't.
dangerous. It's
You can't.
dangerous.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just get into it. That just was a great segment. I love the idea. We'll probably keep that every Monday. Or are you all in or all out? I love the segment. Let's just get into it. Let's start off with the Jets. The Jets. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Literally. I first want to start off by saying, obviously the Jets, they beat the third string quarterback. And I would say that I wouldn't be this excited. If we would have won by a field goal against a third string, I would probably be more pissed off than happy about the win. But the fact that they went in, they took off. They took out Teddy Bridgewater. Sauce hit him with a nice shot, got a safety, took him out early, and the third string came in, and you blew them out 40-17. That just kind of showed me that if Tua was there, it would have been a very close game. And I'm not gonna say, oh, the Jets would have beat them. We're gonna see them again, and the Miami's gonna come a lot of heat because the Jets were trolling them. So they're gonna come with a lot of heat against us. But um, a great spanking. Brees Hall. Oh my God! Did we not call this? Like, did we not call this breakout game? Like, I had him
Yep.
right there. He went bonkers. He went 18 carries for 97 yards rushing, one touchdown, and then he caught two receptions on two targets for 100 yards. He
That's
nearly
insane.
he nearly had 100 on receiving and rushing. The receiving came from one big play, a 79-yard pass that he dragged two guys into the first goal line. If it wasn't for that, he would have scored. He would have got the goal line. But he just ran 79 yards. He do it out of breath. You bring in Michael Carter. You bring in the one goal line. That's fine. He went. He did amazing. Brees Hall is just showing more and more that he was meant to get drafted in the first round, and that the fact that the Jets stole him in the second round after trading up for him, it's a steal. Joe Douglas, his whole draft class, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, played like a monster. He was just holding it down, doing the peace sign. Freaking Michael Carter was coming in
That was
behind Brees
toxic.
Hall. Michael Carter was coming behind Brees Hall and doing the waddle after a second goal line running back. Like they were just trolling at this point.
That was
Miami is
toxic.
a tough rivalry team. Um, I said it before. I think fully healthy, they could have more talent than the Jets. But after what I saw, I want to see them again fully healthy. I need to see the matchup. Um, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say the Jets are a playoff team. I'm not gonna sit here and say the Jets are gonna make the Super Bowl. But this is a progress where Zach Wilson came in. He's 2-0 this season, and he's looking good. He, he's gonna go to Green Bay. They're going at Green Bay. Green Bay just lost to the other New York team.
Hmm.
I don't see Rodgers losing to both New York teams, especially at home. I think the Jets can be competitive and give them a good match, but I don't think the Jets can win this one. However, they face Denver and then the Patriots. I expect 2 wins out of the next three. I think they
Yeah.
should beat Denver because
Hmm.
Russell Wilson is hurt. He has a torn something on his shoulder, but it's a reason why his throws haven't been all good apparently. And the Patriots have a really good elite defense, like we said, but they still don't have Mac Jones yet, and they still look like they have a good offense. So I think Jets the next 3 weeks should come out 2 out of 3. And yeah, I don't know if you guys want to add anything else, but
Yeah. I
let's
mean,
go Jets.
I mean, we talked about it, me and Chris, before the season started, and he was like, I don't like talking positive about the
You
Jets and
you
everything."
can't get
But I
excited. You
mean,
can't
but
get
I mean, we
excited.
talked about it. I mean, we said they were gonna be good. They were gonna be competitive, and they are. It's not a surprise to me. Zach Wilson looks good. 2-0 since he's been
He didn't
back.
throw it into the last game. I was so excited.
Did really good, and
Throw it into-
they're even on pace to break the record that some people were saying they were gonna. Some people were saying they were gonna be 4-13,
Yeah, I
this and
believe it
that.
was
They're
four
already three and
wins.
three, so
Three
they're
and
already
two.
on pace. 3-2, so they're already on pace. I was saying 3-3 because I was I was kind of thinking about Green Bay, but I
Oh
think
yeah,
even
probably.
but I think they can come out and win that game also. Are they playing at home or are they playing in Green Bay?
No, it's at Green Bay. That's why I think Rodgers.
Okay,
I think. Listen,
yeah.
we'll get into the Giant game, but I think because of that loss, they're gonna figure out a way to make sure the Jets don't beat
Hmm.
them. But I will say the Jets' biggest weakness right now is the running game. Mostert ran all over us, and
Oh
it
yeah.
was it was starting to make me yell and lose my mind. With that being said, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, I think are must starts against the Jets this week. But that's our biggest problem right now. We could stop the run, then we could be okay because even though it wasn't Tua flinging the ball, his arm isn't anything special. That
Hmm.
quarterback took a couple deep shots. A couple were pass interference. You can argue it. I wasn't a big fan of the calls, but another one, Sauce Gardner just made sure Tyreek Hill didn't get it. So I think the passing defense is really good. Our attacking the quarterback is getting better. Quentin Williams is getting so much better, and he's getting better each and every game. But our big weakness is the rushing on the defensive end. We cannot stop the run. It hasn't stopped since Nick Chubb. He opened it, and every running back we played week in week out is just running all over us, and it's not good. But if the offense keeps doing what they're doing and using their receivers the right way, and for God's sakes, please give Elijah Moore more than 5 targets. I need to see this guy. He's too talented. Like you have to.
Hmm.
I understand Corey Davis is there, but Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore are your best two talented wide receivers. They need to get the most attention, and you got to feed them. You
You
have
know what
to.
it is too. You got to develop that chemistry. Like you got to develop that in-game chemistry. If you're not throwing to your best guys, then
Yep.
you
He's
know
defending it with Garrett Wilson, which you said it earlier, Chris. I totally agree. I think Garrett Wilson stole wide receiver one. He's just
I'm not
the
surprised.
guy.
Yeah,
The guy is just really good. Like he could just
Hmm.
move better. And it's nothing against Elijah Moore. I think Moore is a stud, but I think Garrett Wilson is just better. And
just imagine
he's
more as a number two though. I think that's a
they,
great number two.
yeah, they got to use him. They got to use him well, and it excites me because I told you guys this. I want to see at least 8 wins, 8 to 9 wins, and I just want to see next year a playoff contenders because this year the schedule is still really hard. We're not gonna beat all these top teams. We're still the youngest team in the NFL, so we're gonna have a lot of mistakes coming up. But um, you know, after seeing what Green Bay looks like, we thought that was a for sure L. Now I don't think it's for sure. I think Green Bay is still gonna win, but I don't think it's gonna be a for sure win anymore. Denver's not a for sure win anymore. A for sure loss. The Patriots aren't a for sure loss. Like these, a lot of teams that we thought were really good are not as good as we thought. So
Yep.
I think Jets have a better chance. And when a Jet fan starts to see wins, you don't know how to act, and that's exactly what I am. I don't know how to act. I'm seeing wins. I'm seeing my team over 500. I'm seeing my team in the second seed of the division on top of Miami and the Patriots. It gets you too excited, and I can't stop talking about it. So we have to move on. And
I don't know how to lose. I'm about to slip my wrist.
listen, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. We'll talk about that. But let's move on. Miami wise, I don't know when Tua's gonna be back. It said he's moving in the right direction. He might play next week, but if not, it might be that third string running back, Thompson, whatever his name is. If he's playing, Mostert must start. Chase Edmonds, I think you could drop him or you hold him if you have no other spot. Chase Edmonds just got erased from this team. I don't know what happened. He got erased. Mostert stole it, but I will say Mostert is a very injury-prone running back, so maybe hold on to Edmonds, but he got erased. Uh,
Yeah, I have no idea what happened there. Like, I don't even think he did bad. They just like, wait, I think I like Mostert better, so we're just gonna put him in, and
yeah,
he's
they
the
just
number one
erased
guy
him.
now. I'm like, wait,
I don't know if it's because Tua is not quarterback. Because when Tua was quarterback, Edmonds find his way to the end zone almost every game, and he wasn't being used as much. But now he's just not being used at all. So that's probably my biggest concerns. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's move on, and let's just get into this Giant and Green Bay game. Uh, see, I'll let you talk about your beloved Giants.
all right, ah, this is the part I was waiting for. So we go across the pond, and everybody's thinking Giants, Green Bay. It's gonna be interesting, but Green Bay got it for sure, right? Every single person. I want to know how many people lost money on that game because I'm pretty sure there was a lot of people. But so the Giants go in, they're it's 17 to zip, 17-3, and I wasn't feeling good. I was like, it's all right. I mean, I figured, and unlike the Jets, all three of us, including me, we're not that high on the Giants this year. We got a good coach, but we didn't have any talent. We didn't think the Giants were gonna do absolutely anything. Um, so that being said, I'm a little bit more excited because I'm like, wait a minute. We're literally, like I said earlier, we're shredding, and this is why I have hope for the Jets as well facing Green Bay, because we're shredding Green Bay defense with Daniel Jones and, like I said, Walmart wide receivers. These are wide receivers that I've never seen in my entire life. I swear to everything, they had a tryouts for the position because they didn't sign nobody, they didn't grab nobody from anybody's team. No, was no trades happening. No, like I had no idea who anybody was. Like I said, Slayton was the only name that I remembered. It was actually insane. Daniel Jones did his part. Saquon Barkley is just, he is
He's
back.
different.
He's a beast. He's a
There's
beast.
no doubt about it. He put this team on his back for weeks now. He he got injured in the game. It was a little scary. His shoulder got hurt. He didn't want to stay out. They literally had to drag him into the tent, and say, "You need to come in here. We need to check you out, make sure you're good. You use your most valuable asset on the team right now." So, once they gave him the all clear in the tent, you could see him shoot out of that tent, ready to get back in the game. He is back. He's back 100%, and that's exciting.
I have a question. If
Yeah.
if you're the Green Bay defensive coordinator, who is the person you're supposed to make sure never gets the ball outside of these wheel routes? Barkley, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Why was he open? Why?
he's always open,
Yo,
and he just
I'm watching these highlights. And I'm like, did the Green Bay linebacker think that this was just some bum behind right next to Danny Jones? I'm seeing him run wheel routes, and he's open every time on the goal line. He's open. Why is he open at the goal line?
I would have put three linebackers on him if I'm the
I,
T
I,
Rex
I
instead
don't
of
I don't get it. I really don't
it
understand it.
was it was and that's another reason why I feel like, listen, I think you guys have two great running backs who can run these wheel routes and turn them into touchdowns, or shred the secondary of the Green Bay Packers, which is non-existent. So if Green Bay is scoring or doing what they need to do, I think guys can keep up, and I think the next week will be an interesting game with Green Bay. But I'm loving this game. That was a great game. Once we batted the last two Aaron Rodgers throws, besides that Hail Mary, I think he threw one, or whatever the situation may be.
You guys won.
Yeah,
You got it.
it was so beautiful.
Can can I just I want to say something. Aaron Rodgers needs to retire. He should have realized at the moment Adams left that he was gonna be frustrated with these rookies and he was gonna get a rapport and he wasn't gonna look good. It's not. He's too old. Like it
Either
should.
retire or go to a
Yeah.
different team.
Yeah, he should have went to a team where there
To
was
the
veteran
Giants.
wide receivers. No, you don't. You have one more wide
Nah, I'm kidding.
receivers.
We don't got no wide
He
receiver.
should have
It
went where
would
he
have
had.
been worse, but
Yeah, well, maybe not. Cause Dable would have figured out a way. But Rogers. It looks like he's frustrated. He doesn't like what he has, and it's clear that Adams didn't communicate with Rogers what the plan was because Rogers probably would never sign that deal. And even Rogers said it. He didn't think Adams was leaving him. So it stinks. But speaking of Devontae Adams, he just caught a 58-yard bomb on the chance to the Chiefs just now.
Yeah, and
But
that just lost my chances of
again,
winning this week.
yeah, he just caught a 58-yard bomb just now. But anyways,
I was earlier. There
it's
was I was watching. It was a 4th and 1, and
oh,
they
you was
went for
watching
it.
it.
They went for it on the Kansas City. No, on their own 30-yard line on a fourth and
Yeah,
one. They were crazy and got a 58-yard bomb. I was
yeah,
like,
58
wow.
yard bomb. Yeah. So Adams, that's what he does.
Right after I
And
talked about Adams was not doing his.
yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, but I think Rogers needs to he's not gonna get a rapport with these guys fast. His best guy probably right now is Romeo Dubs, and even that's not helping because he should have, not that the Giants defense is terrible, but he should have scored more points than you guys, and he should have had a bigger, better game with his wide receivers. And what the hell happened to his running backs? Where were they? I
It
don't
was
I don't understand.
non-existent.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. I thought this Green Bay team was gonna rely on the guys that he trusts the most. Those guys he's not using. Why are they not being put into Well, I see Barkley running wheel routes and he's open. Why are they not running wheel routes? Why are they not running some routes to get open and to give them some open room? I don't know what's going on in Green Bay. I don't like it. Um, but Giants won. I'm still gonna be that guy that I am with the Jets. I still think Giants are pretenders. I don't think they're gonna be a playoff team, but I think this starts a lot of excitement for next year.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it'll be pretty scary. Like depending on what quarterback they get. Let me give you a scenario that I heard. I heard three scenarios. I heard Jimmy Garoppolo to the Giants. I heard Lamar Jackson would has the Giants at his destination if the Ravens were to not give him the contract he wants, which is similar to Aaron Judge, what he's going through with the Yankees. If the Ravens do not sign Lamar Jackson and he goes to the Giants immediately are playoff teams. What Dable's doing now with nobodies, imagine what he could do with Lamar Jackson, which, by the way, similar to Josh Allen, he could
I was
run the
just about
ball.
to say that's the closest you're gonna get to a Josh Allen quarterback without it being
So
Josh Allen.
how like I understand you don't want to be overexcited because obviously I'm gonna probably say 99% sure Ravens are not letting that man go.
It'd be
But
the
let's
stupidest
just
team in the
go,
world.
yeah, let's just go out of the box. He leaves and joins the Giants. Giants immediate playoff contenders and even could be Super Bowl contenders depending on what you guys have. At the end of the
Yep.
season, the Giants have the most money to give. At the end of the cap, you have I think the most or one of the most money to sign free agents, and you have a lot of draft capital. So with that being said, you have to go pick up a lot of good veteran players for Brian Dable, and you got to
Yeah.
go draft some studs. So the Giants have a lot of excitement.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
wide receivers and maybe some corners
yeah,
on the
I think me and
linebacker.
Chris said it, and we said the last podcast. That was when you were on your way to London. We said that the Giants were that we thought we were still pretenders, and we didn't even put the Jets in the conversation because they didn't have a winning record. Now they do, and if you was to ask me, I would still say pretenders. They're not there yet, but it's very exciting. I think you should not drink the Daniel Jones Kool-Aid. I think Daniel Jones is playing good enough to not lose you the game. That's what I think. He's doing good. I don't think he's gonna lose. I don't think he's playing great where he deserves the credit.
It's Dable's plan to get Daniel Jones into the red zone, and then Barkley takes it from there.
It's honestly
That's really
remarkable.
what it is.
Yeah.
It's honestly remarkable. You think right now 4-1? You think Daniel Jones is your quarterback next year?
No, I don't care. I don't
What do
care
you
what the
think,
record
Chris?
is.
Nah.
You think so?
No,
I don't care
I
what the.
like you said, I just think it's just Dabo's scheme. Is the reason they're winning the games. I don't think Danny Jones is doing enough. He looked good in London, but
That was probably his best game so far. I
yeah.
think he
It
was what?
was
It
245 yards,
it
something
was
like that.
21 out
Yeah.
of 24 or something like
No
that. He
intos
was
either.
Yeah,
Yep.
no
no
intos. He was
Wintos. That
another
was his
one.
best game. That was his best game. No,
Yeah.
listen,
And
it was a
last
good
week
game.
he should have had no intos too. His one intel that was at the end was not his fault. The receiver got hurt on the route. So he just yeah. But he I mean, listen, I'm like I said, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm just giving praise where praise is due. You know, I can't talk bad about him when he's not doing bad. So
No, no, yeah.
right
No,
now
no,
he's
yeah.
doing well. He's throwing the ball well. He's making complete. He's doing it, and he's playing tough too, cause he had a bum ankle and he's running route. He's running the ball still. He was still
Well,
running.
that was the reason why they didn't sign him to the franchise deal. They didn't give him that extra year on his extension. They told him either you prove it or you're a free agent. So I think if I have a little ankle injury and I'm fighting for my career, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure I'm gonna fight my butt off. So
And the
I
receiving
don't
corps
blame him.
that he had to deal with this week, the receiving corps that he had to deal with this week, and he made it work with the receiving corps. That's actually something to do. It might have been Dable's plays, it might have been Dable's scheme and whatever the situation may be, but it's still Daniel Jones throwing the football. So
Yeah.
I think I give praise where praise is due. Do I think that he's the guy now because of what I see? No, but I give praise to where praise is due.
No, he did. He did really decent. And he made sure that he didn't lose the game for you guys, and he did really good. And the fact that you guys came back was huge because I remember
Hmm.
I saw my phone. It says 17-3, and I was like, well, you know, it happens. I'm like, no, I expected the Giants to be competitive, and then I leave and I see my phone. I'm like, holy crap, they won this game. I was like, there's no way. I'm like, did Rodgers get hurt? What big injury happened?
No, they
Nothing.
shut him out the whole second
Yeah,
half. They didn't score a
that
single point. It was crazy.
listen, man, Dable, you know, I'm gonna say I don't care. I love Robert Sala, but I'm jealous of Brian Dable. I don't understand why this man didn't have a coaching job earlier. This guy is too smart to have been. He was the Bills' offensive coordinator. Like he's so smart. Like it really is a great accomplishment to see what he's doing with nobodies. Imagine with actual players that he's gonna have next year. Um, Fantasy wise, literally Saquon Barkley, he's a stud. I think the injury could be a little bit of a scare. I don't know who your backup running back is because I don't really care. But
Breida,
if it's Breida, if you're a Barkley owner, I think it'll be close. You're close enough in the season already where you stood start stashing your number one guy, and just in case, because if you
Yeah.
don't have the top waiver and Barkley wants to get hurt, you are be done. Let me ask you a question, see, and I'll ask Chris. Giants not you guys still need a quarterback as we say. Let's say it's not Lamar, it's not Jimmy G, and you go after a quarterback. You guys are winning games right now, so you're not getting a top draft pick. So would you trade Saquon Barkley for draft capital to use that draft capital to move up in the first round? Will you trade Barkley right
um,
now?
right now,
As
it's
high as
just
value.
you can't even say. I mean, it's tough. It's tough
I
because
don't think so. Yeah.
he's the only guy that's working on this team. Like,
Yeah.
do you take the only guy that works out of this team to get people that might work? That's my mindset. So and we might stack up if we keep playing like this. I feel like we'll stack up wins a lot. I think the only people who we might lose to are not even might. I think we lose next week to the Ravens. I don't think we can win that game.
Honestly, at this point, you can't even think like that.
I
Dable,
don't. I mean,
Dable is
like I
figuring
said, I did say
figuring
that
out ways to win.
that defense is bad for the Ravens. They've given up some. They had some bad games where they just shut down and they just get shredded in the secondary. So if maybe the Giants can keep up with them and somehow figure it out at the end. So maybe the Eagles still look solid. Dallas just has our number whether they're good or bad. I just don't know how it works with them.
Well, okay. I mean, Dallas, that defense is elite. I'm
It
sorry.
that defense is
That
elite.
that's an elite defense. They're doing really good, but just
We'll
slow
see.
down, slow
We'll
down.
see. Yeah,
The
I
one thing
think
I,
those
the
are
one thing
four
I would
losses
say,
right there. I
I
mean,
think one thing I would say, Philly's 5-0. Usually when teams start off this hot, eventually they are gonna hit like a stumbling block. The stumbling block could be when they face you guys. Like you can't. this team is not gonna be undefeated the whole season. I don't see them
It
going
is a
17
division
and
game
0.
too, so you can never
No, yeah.
predict
So I
anything.
don't think you need to. I don't think it's an automatic loss anymore. I think if Philly was to lose a game and then bounce back, then I'd be like, yeah, they're gonna spank you guys. But if they haven't lost yet and they're still on this high pedestal, eventually they're gonna come down to earth. And you never know. It could be against the Giants. I'm not saying I believe it, but I think you should be more confident if they're winning more games and if you see them at a later time.
Yeah,
But
I mean the Eagles games are later in the season, both of them. I think the Commanders are no problem, and we have a lot of great games that I feel like the Giants are doing what they should be doing. They're beating bad teams.
yeah,
The Lions are a good offensive team, but defensively that should be a
they
blowout.
got shut down. But yeah,
Um,
sure.
well, I don't know. I mean, the Patriots came in with a game plan. T.J. Hawkinson. That's all they really had. T.J. Hawkinson. Josh Reynolds wasn't doing much.
I
I
mean,
mean,
St. Brown
and
did play, but yeah.
he did play, but he was on a pitch count, and he really didn't do much either. Like they had him out there at the end when they really needed it, but and then they kind of shut him down again because it was like this game is lost. So I think the Lions are a game that we can win as well. They might be great on offense, but if we can shred up their bad defense, I think we can just
Yeah,
beat
that
the
game
shit
was
out of them.
ugly.
No,
Um,
yeah, it was ugly, but listen, it was a great win from the Giants. Great win for the Jets. I think the Jet and Green Bay game. We'll get more into it throughout the week. It's a tougher matchup.
all right,
Uh,
you guys want to speed through the rest of the games? I mean, I know Christian doesn't want to talk too much about the Steelers game anyway, so
You know, um,
if you want to.
going from 4-1 to 1-4. I don't really want to talk about it, but
well, listen, we'll get into a little bit. So, um, I I said last episode while you was in London, Chris, that the Steelers should have sat Kenny Pickett and brought in Trubisky. I think starting him against this defense was setting him up for failure.
yeah,
And I did not agree. And you thought they should have played them, but I think the score kind of showed that he is not ready for that type of defense. But there's nobody else like that defense besides probably the Cowboys. So you sit him, you let him play, you let Trubisky play, and then you just put him against. I think Tampa Bay defense is hard too, but it's not as elite as Buffalo. He could probably do decent. I think all this does is mess up this kid's confidence, and it doesn't look good. Steelers clearly missing T.J. Watt, missing Fitzpatrick on the defensive end. Without those guys, your defense it looks terrible. But
yep,
then
Yeah,
again,
it's big losses.
Buffalo offense was due. We talked about this. They were due for a big game. Their last 2 weeks, they lost to Miami by a field goal, and then won to the the Baltimore Ravens by a field goal at the last second. So Buffalo was due for a huge game. Josh Allen already had over 300 pass yards and 4 touchdowns at halftime, I believe. The dude was
yeah, it
going
was ugly.
the dude was going bonkers.
If they kept him in that whole game, like playing like that, he could have broken every single record in NFL history when it comes to
Yeah, he
quarterbacks.
he
Like
could
they were
have.
talking about. He could
It
have
was
had
it was
600, 700
it was
yards.
bad, but the one thing I would say is that Chris was joking about it, but it was true that Mike Tomlin has never had a under 500 record. He's always been over 500, no matter if they made the playoffs or not. But he always finished over 500. So I think with this season, you probably are. It's probably gonna be his first. It's probably gonna be his worst season as a head coach.
Yeah,
But I think the confidence is that he is your coach. You don't have to worry about the coach. He's gonna probably figure it out. Coming to next year, they might have a high draft pick. Now, do you think that if they have a top five draft pick, you think they should trade it? Because there's 8 quarterbacks that are supposed to be drafted in the first round this year. Do you trade that pick knowing that teams are gonna want a quarterback and you get a haul of picks and he just rebuilds the Steelers team?
I think so because I don't think the team. I mean, obviously the team looks bad, but I mean, we have great receivers. George Pickens looks like the future wide receiver of the team. Deontay Johnson. You still have Najee. You still got T.J. Watt. You still got Fitzpatrick on the defense side. Offensive line could use a little bit of work,
Yeah, they need
but
some
I mean,
help.
if you could stash one of those QBs and maybe ride behind Pickett, don't give up on Pickett yet, but stash one of those QBs. The team still isn't bad. It's just injuries. Losing. A Hall of Fame quarterback. It's a lot to go
It's
through.
always a change. Yeah, it's always a
So but
change.
I would most definitely try to stash one of those quarterbacks.
You think you should stash them, or you think you should trade the pick and get a haul of picks? Because you have Kenny Pickett, so why would you draft the top quarterback?
Just I would say just stash him in case Kenny Pickett isn't your guy. I know a lot. I know like a lot of us like when it's saying that Pickett is the guy, but in that case, if you could stash one of these and these, this is probably one of the best QB classes that we had in a while, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of them. If you could stash him and Kenny Pickett isn't your guy, I mean, hey
Yeah,
man.
you know the problem is like let's say right now Steelers are 1-4. You're facing Tampa, then you're
Hmm.
facing the Eagles.
Yeah,
Your schedule is ridiculous.
yeah. I know.
You
At
might,
this point, we're going for a high draft pick. That's it.
that's what I'm saying. So if you go for a
Yeah,
high draft pick and you draft the quarterback, you're not drafting that guy to stay behind Kenny Pickett. It's gonna be to
yeah.
take his job. So I think the Steelers are. They drafted Kenny Pickett. I think Mike Tomlin will probably trade that pick and get. You trade that pick and you get like three future ones, a couple of twos, and
Yep.
you build up your team. I think Kenny Pickett can still be a guy. He just needs to get developed. This game woke him up. This was a welcome to the NFL game. That's what it was.
And they
And
were hitting him hard.
yeah,
They were getting at him. Yeah,
it
it
was
was
a
crazy.
welcome to the NFL. That's basically what it was. Every quarterback goes through it. Now let's see how he does against Tampa, another tough defense, and then the Eagles. It's not easy for him. He has a tough ride, but
And
you
that
know,
game, I'm gonna be rooting for the Eagles because Jalen Hurts needs to go
do
off
not say that. You're a Steeler fan first. Do not
because
say that.
I am 1-4 in our league, and I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
It's
we're gonna
gonna
talk
happen,
about that.
man.
Hold on, Chris. Are you all right? You know what you mentioned? Now I'm gonna say it. Are you proclaiming it right now? Are you coming back in the second half of the season?
I hold on,
Nah, you
He's
need
hold
to
on,
have
hold on. Okay,
confidence,
okay,
bro.
okay,
You need to
okay,
have
time,
confidence.
okay. Time out because Chris, we talked about this when you wasn't here, but I was like, on paper, my team is freaking nasty. I mean, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Jones, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelsey. Anybody take that team, they'd be like, hey, I'll take this team, but I'm 1-4. I don't
You're
understand it,
facing
but
you're
I
facing
mean,
bad
like,
weeks.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, no, you even said it that I think I'm second in most points, but
Yeah, your team didn't even do bad this week. Look at Izzy with
yeah,
100,
it's
almost
just
150. He could end with 160 points. He might have, I think, the most points this
yeah,
he's
it's
gonna end up
crazy,
with the
bro.
most points this week, and
It's
that's what you had to
crazy.
face. So that's just what you're facing.
Yeah,
It's not like your
it's
team is
bad. It's
bad,
bad luck,
but
you
with
know.
that team, that's just bad luck. But luck can turn
Yeah,
around, and if your team continues to perform,
yeah.
you can
not
actually.
only not only luck. Right now you're 1-4, so you gotta see.
I mean to answer your question, Jay, I think
You
it's
saying it? You
possible.
see,
It's
if you
possible
saying
a
that
come.
right, you
It's
saying that right,
possible a comeback because
yeah,
because you know
you
team
gotta
is good,
say it.
and then I'm still waiting for DeAndre Hopkins to come back and to see what
And you
he
don't
could
even
do.
have Hopkins, and you putting up points. So imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's
but we
possible. I
talked
mean, we'll
about
see
this
what
though. Like
happens.
you might have Hopkins, but it could be like already too late. And right now
Yeah.
you're on that verge. But like we said, your team isn't terrible. So let me ask you. I'll ask you one big question. Will you consider getting rid of Justin Jefferson and get like three players to boost up your team, or no?
To get better running backs, yes, 100%.
Would you
Because
consider?
that's my problem. Aaron Jones is not doing enough. ETN is just he
I
makes me want
mean,
to
you
hurt
left
kill
most of
myself.
it on your bench against
Yeah,
the
but
Jets'
that's
terrible run defense.
I don't know. I was high on the Jets. I was like, but
No,
it
listen,
is what it
The
is.
Jets destroyed them. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying their run defense is their biggest weakness. But
yeah,
you know, you did face probably the highest. He already. Oh, Josh Jacobs just scored. So
yeah.
he finished with the most points this season. This week again, is he finished higher than Andrew? So he just takes over. But look at our division. So you're gonna have me on top 4-1, Chris 3-2, Izzy 3-2, Nat 2-3, and then you're right there 1-4. So you gotta fight for that second spot. Right now, anything can happen. I could
If
be
I can
four and
make
one.
the wild card, I'm
Eh,
okay.
Uh,
how many teams in it? Is it
it's only
five, six?
it's only five. It's only four. I mean, it's the top two in each division.
Yeah.
So that's it. So you gotta fight for that spot. Right now, we need to hold on to is that your points. You you actually have the second most points in total in the division.
It's
Chris has
amazing.
612 and you have 611. And then the rest of us three is 560, 570, 535
It's
on
insane.
points. So that means that technically you should be up there. So what you need to do is just get yourself close enough so that your points already is already
Yeah.
there. Like if we're in a tiebreaker, you beat everybody besides
Yeah.
Chris. But that's not adding this week. So we
Yeah.
have to see. But you still put up a lot of points.
Yeah.
So
We'll see. I mean, the other league I'm 4-1, so I'm not
Listen,
doing
but
too
we
bad. That's
talking
what it
about
is.
JNC's podcast right now.
Nah,
We don't
JC.
care about that bum Aaron League, all right? We're, by the way, all of us is like
All of
4-1.
us, all of us are
We're
killing it.
we're wrecking it, and C embarrass Andrew. I mean, embarrass Aaron.
Hey, I'm coming back on that league. That's all I care about. What am I like?
He,
Two? Is that my second
he,
one or third one? I don't even know.
he,
No, I think you're
Oh,
three
I'm
and
3-2.
two.
Yeah, I'm 3-2
Yeah.
both leagues,
he
and 2 and
embarrassed
3 in the other one.
anybody who had well anybody who had Joe Mixon, Christian Kirk, Robert Woods, Hunter Renfro, Miles Sanders, you probably lost. Oh, and by the way, if you had Josh Allen on your team, you most definitely Oh
Besides
no,
me.
you didn't. Oh shoot.
Hey man, that was a last minute. That was a last minute failure for me, man. I just, I got tired and that's another thing I want to talk about. Corey Davis, 32 points with 3
Gabriel.
catches. What did
Gabriel
I say?
Davis.
Davis,
You said
Corey,
Corey Davis. Gabriel Davis.
Gabriel Davis. One of the Davises.
Yeah, that was insane. Yeah.
That was the better Davis this week. 3 catches for 32 points. Like, yeah, he had 32 points. Should I be happy? Obviously no, because he's on my bench. But should I be happy and say, wow, he's back? No.
Do you think that's a comeback?
No, he had 3 catches. I shoulda like
Isaiah
maybe in
McKenzie was out as well.
maybe in a
Yeah.
team where like this one, like the Steelers don't have their top guys right now on defense. And if you can have if you can go against a team that their corners are easily torched, then yeah, maybe Davis is but
Oh my God, what a
that's not
matchup!
predictable.
I
That's
wa-
not
I
predictable.
was to go ask you, would you start him next week? Oh,
Against who?
This is juicy.
Who?
This is the game we've been waiting for. This is Buffalo Bills against Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
Oh my God, I
That's
can't
a
wait.
game.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
oh.
the Raiders are over here scoring 14. They're 14. I mean, I don't know what to think about with the Kansas City Chiefs anymore. Like, but I think defensive wise, yeah, you can start a wide receiver against the Kansas City Chiefs, especially
Oh my God.
if your quarterback is Josh
The
Allen.
Chiefs are probably saving all their plays for next week. They're probably gonna get spanked and be like,
Bro,
you know
they
what?
said everybody don't even fear.
He said, save your energy. We gotta beat this team next week. That's a game to watch. Another game to watch next week. Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Prime time game.
Oh
I
my gosh.
can't wait for that game.
And I that was even with them being undefeated and the team that we need to lose, like I would still go with the want the Eagles to win. I just don't. That's how much we hate Dallas. That you you need the Eagles to lose so that everyone's tied in the division, and you still go for the Dallas. That I mean for Eagles because
Okay,
Dallas
we went
is
through.
hated.
I totally agree. We went through everything quickly, but I do wanna before we go out, I do wanna go through top 5 running backs, top 5 wide receivers, top 5 quarterbacks. A lot of
Okay.
guys who had great weeks, and then we'll get more into the guys who did like the donuts and the terribleness, like Aaron Jones, Michael Pittman did terrible, and we'll get into all those guys. But really quick, top 5 running backs. Leonard Fournette. This is why we said go trade for him. Now it's probably too late. The lending owner is not gonna give him up now. We should have went for him 2 weeks ago when
I
I
should have hit up
should
Ishmael.
have went after. I tried to go after. I tried to go after with Ishmael. He is like, let me wait a couple more weeks. He was smart. He did. He
Was
listened.
smart.
Now
Beat me with him.
very, very smart. Lenny is back. That's what everybody was waiting for. He's gonna be great. Austin Eckler, what a monster! 35.9 points. He finished RB2 this week. Let me just read you stats that Austin Eckler usually does not do. 16 carries for 173 yards.
That is
Rushing.
insane.
He rushed for 173 yards with 16 carries only. 1 touchdown. And then he caught 4 passes for 26 yards and a touchdown. Austin Eckler, um, he's back. You
Yeah.
trust him. Even with Keenan Allen, this guy ran all over the Browns defense. Amazing. We talked about this guy, Brees. Hallelujah. Hollywood, freaking Brees Hall. Amazing. Finished RB3 this week. 27.7 points. We went through that. My other guy. Oh, I love this guy. You know how much I love this guy? I love this guy a lot. Derrick freaking Henry finished RB4. 27.2 points. Derrick Henry is back. 3 straight 20-plus point games. Don't worry about it. He is
Hmm.
back,
That was
baby.
a slow start. He came off of ACL.
He's catching balls now too, which is
Oh,
interesting.
he's amazing. He had 28 carries for 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. He caught only 2 balls for 2 targets, but
That's 2 more than they would ever done last year.
yeah,
That's
but
crazy. I'm saying he's catching
he
balls.
was RB4, RB5 by 1 point. He beat Nick Chubb, which by the way, Nick Chubb's amazing.
Hmm.
Dalvin Cook, 26.1 points, destroyed um, the Chicago Bears. Dalvin Cook, a monster this week. Congratulations to Dalvin Cook. Wide receivers. We talked about this guy. 3 catches, finishes wide receiver one. How in the hell? Gabriel Davis, 32.1 points in fantasy. PPR, great game. Number two, expected. Justin Jefferson. He came in with 30.32 points, had 12 receptions on 13 targets, 154 yards receiving,
And I
and
still lost.
and
Oh
you
my
still
god.
lost. He did not catch the touchdown. If he did, it just adds more to it. Number three, this guy. I love this guy. And this guy's amazing. By the way, Chris, RB number seven, Tyler Lockett, amazing. He's more valuable than Amar
Wide
St. Brown.
receiver.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, 5 receptions on 6 targets, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. A reason Geno Smith has been amazing. Number four, it's it's, it's Cooper Cup. It's the guy you expected, always top five. Cooper Cup, 25.9 points. Not much to talk about. Number five, this guy beat out Stephon Diggs by zero point 0.3 points. Dwayne the Deami Brown came in. This guy actually beats your guy Chris Gabriel Davis. He caught 2 balls for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Finished as a wide receiver five this
Are you
past
in or
week.
out?
I'm out, 100%
I'm
out.
out.
Let's get into the
God.
quarterbacks with their great starts, with their great week fives. Number one, talked about it earlier. He got all these points before the half. Josh Allen, 43 point, 16 points. I'm not reading his stats. He
He's
just
just
killed it.
godly, bro.
He's godly. Another guy we talked about, Geno Smith, finished quarterback two this week, 30.02 points, played great. Number three, Jalen Hurts, 27.66, didn't need to throw passing touchdowns. He did all it by himself. He ran it in for 2 touchdowns. He threw for 260. Great. Number four, Carson Wentz against the Tennessee Titans. He's a bum, but in fantasy, he did good apparently.
That was all
25,
garbage time, most of his
yeah,
points.
25.86 points. He finished QB4. QB5, I expected a good game from this guy. Kirk Cousins, 24.24 points, had a great week. Out of those 5 guys I just said, probably 2 were drafted pretty high. That was Allen and Hurts, by the way. Crazy. Let's go to the tight ends, and then we'll finish out the week. The
Wait,
tight
I think
ends.
Wentz was on a game-winning drive. Actually,
No, he was, and he threw it into
yeah, he
on the
Oh
went
goal
yeah,
it.
line.
He
Yeah,
went
he
it.
did. The number one tight end. By the way, I'm telling you, I hate this guy. I can't stand. He took all 3 rushing touchdowns from Kamara. Taysom Hill.
Why is he
I
still a tight end?
He's listed as a tight end. By the way, if he's available, just pick him up. You never know at this
he's
point.
listed as everything. He's probably listed as the coach too.
You might as
Taysom
well.
Hill, let me read you what this monster did. This guy went in, he had 9 carries for 112 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, and then he threw a passing touchdown. This guy is old. I can't stand him. He took Alvin Kamara's touchdown. Kamara would have been a top 5 this week if he scores one. Just give him one. But no, you Taysom Hill, whatever. Taysom Hill finishes as the tight end one. I don't know if that even counts. The real tight end one, Mark Andrews. 22.9 points, had a great game with the Baltimore Ravens. They were able to win the game. Number three, my guy. This is my guy. Dallas Goddard, 17.7 points, had an amazing game against the Arizona Cardinals. He had 9 receptions on 9 targets and 95 yards and no touchdown. Did really good. Number four, no one has this guy in their team. Hayden Hurst. He is the tight end of the Cincinnati Bengals. He had 17.3 points. Had a good game against Baltimore. Number five. Hey Chris, remember we said David Njoku? Oh yeah, baby, David Njoku. That is 14.8 points against the Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers. He had a good week. A great start. Number six, I'm just gonna mention because I know C been talking about this guy. Evan Ingram with 12.9 points, finished at number six. This will change, by the way, because the Chief game is on right now. You usually expect Kelsey to be around that number somewhere in the top five, so it could go up and down. But that is your studs and duds of the week. I'm not even gonna go to defenses because I'm pretty sure you know who the defenses was. Baltimore, Buffalo,
Dallas. Oh my
Dallas,
god.
the
Broncos.
Yo,
Patriots, the Patriots. It was just a great defensive game.
And
Uh,
I also didn't come last week just because I did not want to talk about the Broncos game. So I said, guys, I'm gonna sit this one out. I have to head to London. So
Yeah, you
that's
went to
what
London.
happened.
That's what happened. Listen, guys,
Yeah.
you finally got an episode with all three guys here. C came back from his London vacation. We're rolling. We're gonna come back tomorrow with another episode. Hit you guys up. We'll get more in depth about all the games. We spend a little bit more time on our personal teams, but it's the excitement. It's hard for us to stop talking. There's nobody here. We don't have a producer behind our cameras telling us what time and when to stop. We just keep ranting and keep talking, the waxing poetics on the Jets and the Giants and the Mets lost, but it's okay. The Yankees will come in. Hopefully they take care of it. You know, yeah. Sorry, Mets. Maybe next time when Jacob DeGrom is Atlanta Brave. Okay, so let's finish this episode. This is JNC podcast. We will hit you guys back up. Jacob, Chris, C, and it's you, JETS. Jets. We'll see you guys next episode. Have a good
Giants,
one.
baby, Giants.
No,